Hey, Kaitlyn, I hear only birds. Oh my God, fuck. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You got it.
It's okay.
Take two.
I take. I'm normally so good at these takes. Okay. I heard birds can't fly this high. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, Caitlin, I heard birds can't fly this high.
I hear only angels can.
Nah, nah.
What do you want me to do?
That was so good. Ah, so happy. Okay, here we go. All right. We'll take care of the rest of the post later.
Cool.
What's going on, everybody? Jorge Aquino coming to you live and direct. This is Tormenting Tarmac. It's the podcast where the enthusiast never dies. Date of recording the 11th of March here in the year of our Lord 2026. It has been quite the week for your boy in a negative aspect, but it's okay. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. My guest this evening is an individual who is a very, very good friend to this podcast, a very good friend to me. If you go all the way back into the catalogs and you find the first time I ever had a guest from the Phoenix metropolitan area, this individual was on that podcast along with another good friend of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Kaitlyn Clink, aka KRC Auto, who is basically now a Houston native at this point. So it's really not even fair to go ahead and say that she's based out of the PHX, but she still reps us when she can. It's good to see you, my
Hmm.
friend. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Jorge. It's nice to be back. Thank you for having me on again.
Dude, you're the homie. You always have a free seat at the table. You know this.
Thank
It
you.
is
I
always
appreciate it.
the biggest treat. It is highly unfortunate that every time that you are in town, we never get a chance to see each other.
I
Ever,
know we'd never cross paths. It's my
ever.
times in town are always so filled for every second of every day. It's like
Which I
family,
totally understand.
foods. It's
Yeah.
usually pretty chaotic, but I'll catch you
Yeah.
at one of these meets one of these times.
Very much so. I think if I had shout out to Automotive Alex. You obviously went to go ahead and you went to see the Aston,
Yeah, I got to
uh,
see her. Yeah.
which is I mean valid. Alex, the yellow Aston. It's like
I hadn't
I
caught up with
get
her
it.
in a minute. I hadn't
I
seen her in a
know
while. It's great.
you hadn't, right, and like
Yeah.
you hadn't seen her since you got engaged.
Well, no, I did see her because I did her engagement photos, but actually
Oh, you
hanging out
did. You're
and
right. You
catching
did.
up. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
did the with the cars together with the Aston and Steven's GT3. So we met up at it's like basically Alex's OG spot. So we did it at Gateway
Mm-hmm.
Trailhead and did her engagement photos there, but we didn't really like actually get to catch up. So we finally got to hang out, and obviously you saw the car spotting was pretty insane that day.
Yeah, I did. Like it was a 993 turbo, a red one I
Yeah.
saw, an
And then a bright
SF90.
mint green SF90XX. I'm like, where the heck are these coming from? They just randomly pulled up. It was pretty cool.
Scottsdale. What are you gonna do,
It
kid? What are you
is.
gonna do?
It's so Scottsdale. I shouldn't even be surprised at this point.
It's just bananas. Like it's just that it's it's normal, but yet it's not normal. Like I know you were just in town last week and you
Mhm.
did you leave before Saturday? I assume it was,
Yeah,
right?
I left Friday morning, so I was
Friday
gone for
morning.
the weekend. Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard, but this as of recording, as of data recording, so this will release after this and whatnot. But Red Bull USA is in town, and they brought their F1 car, and Yuki Tsunoda is going to be doing a demo in downtown Phoenix
When is that happening?
this upcoming Saturday.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's
well, here's the crazy thing. Go Carissimo, John Paulo Scorzo, friend of the podcast, of course.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, of course. So he hosts Espressos and Engines. So
Yeah.
like he puts out a post like last week, like 2 days in advance, saying like, "Hey, this is really late notice, but Espressos and Engines will be doing a pop up," and he had the Red Bull USA Formula One car there. I'm like, totally normal,
Casual.
totally
That's
casual.
cool. Oh my
It's
goodness.
uh it's so cool. So this upcoming Saturday, if you have nothing, it's a free event. If you are going to be in the downtown Phoenix area, go over there, go check it out. It's gonna be really, really sick. Yuki Tsunoda is gonna be doing in there. Um and yeah, it's amazing. And also, you know what? Again, it's afterward, it's gonna come out afterwards. But shout out to the warehouse, shout out to Rebecca Wynn, shout out to Eric Pasha of Last Era Brand. They're holding their GT study this upcoming Saturday as well. So hopefully if after this has come out, anybody who listens to this podcast go to the warehouse. Make sure that you went to the warehouse and make sure that you had a good time. I was gonna try and go, and Should we talk about it now? Should we just bring it up?
Let's hear it. What's
Okay,
going
all
on
right.
with the magical Kia?
With the magical canyon carving Kia.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so everybody's aware, I did not wreck the car. It's not totaled. I didn't crash it or anything like that. No, we are having some engine problems that need to be diagnosed ASAP. Which is unfortunate. And I have been waving the Kia flag, Kaitlyn, for a very, very, very long time. You
You've
know
been strong
this.
on the team. Yep.
I've been
You've been
trying, shout out to the
loyal.
Koreans. I've been
Yeah.
loyal to my brand.
Yeah.
And the car's got a tick over 145,000 miles right now. So it's up there on the mileage. It is what it is.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, on Sunday evening, me being as in tune with my car as I am, which is pretty in tune, I started hearing like a slight ticking noise, and I was like, "That's weird. I hadn't heard that before." And I really didn't make anything of it, but I was like, because I had been okay. Full transparency. I had been getting this little oil light flashing on and off every once in a while for the last couple of months. And based on the research that I had done, I thought to myself, oh, it seems like I need an oil pressure sensor. I will go ahead and get to it the next time I do an oil change.
Hmm.
That was my thought process. And I didn't make anything of it. So I thought to myself when the ticking came on, I was like, I hope that those two aren't correlated in any
Oh
way, shape, or
man.
form. So following morning on Monday, I go to work and whatnot, and the tick is still there, but it's still a ticking sound. It's not a knock at this point. I'm like, fuck. And it was under load. Every time you accelerate and whatnot, the ticking sound would go ahead and come on, and it would remain. If I released off the accelerator, the ticking would get a little bit quicker, and then whatever. I was like, something's going on, man. But I'm kind of screwed because I'm already on the way to work, and I need to get back home. And
Yeah.
so on the way home, I got gas, and I'm driving back, and I'm within the threshold of time for my oil change, but in terms of mileage, I was over. But considering how modern cars are these days, everybody who's aware, who I want everybody to aware, I have a 2017, so that is very much considered a modern vehicle, right? I think it's fair to say that anything 2010 and up. Would you agree, Caitlin?
Yeah, I'd say so. That's not
I'd say
that old.
so. Yeah, so 2017 for sure is modern. So, modern times are basically saying you can actually go 75 to 100 to 8,000 miles on an oil change. I wasn't that far up there, but I'm past 5,000 miles for sure. Full
Hmm.
transparency. And I'm trying to get home and the ticking is still relatively consistent. So I'm like, man, I need to get home ASAP and I need to go. And I checked my oil earlier in the day to go ahead and make sure nothing was out of compliance and whatnot. Like I took out the dipstick. I'm like, okay, there's definitely still oil in the car. So that, I know I'm not, you know what I mean? Because I was asked by someone who close to me, it's like, did you forget to put oil in the car? And I almost drop kicked them. Because I'm like, I'm not stupid.
You know the basics.
Um, I know the basics, but my biggest thing was like, I hope that I don't, have anything shiny in my oil.
Hmm.
And multiple friends of mine checked in on, asked me the same thing, and I was like, so I checked it multiple times. There's nothing in the oil from the dipstick, right? So as I'm about, let's call it 6 minutes away from my house. Again, I'm west end of the Phoenix metropolitan area on here in Surprise. About 6 minutes away, and I'm getting off the freeway. Um, as I'm coming off the exit ramp, all of a sudden, that tick then becomes a knocking noise. And as
Oh.
soon as that became a knocking noise, my check engine light started flashing at me repeatedly, and it would not go away. And I could feel the car buck. Car never shut off. Car never did anything like that. But I heard the car. I felt the car kind of, as I was slowing down, kind of buck a little bit. I was like, we are in deep ish right now. Um, and I felt that it went into somewhat of a limp mode as I was trying to, I went to the gas station first and I pulled over. There was no inconsistent idle. It's just check engine light is flashing at me. So when I decided to drive away, because again, I was 5 minutes away from my house, I was like, okay, we're going to go ahead and limp this on the way home. I didn't have to limp it home because the car was limping on itself. It didn't have anywhere near the power that it usually has. Let me be very clear right now. My guest has a car that has 650 horsepower. My car on a good day has 190. But
Hmm.
just know, you could tell my car was not doing okay. So I get home. The knocking is still apparent, but again, idles are still relatively consistent. So we are going to diagnose tomorrow, Thursday. Again, as a recording, we were going to do it yesterday, but I got home a little bit later than I wanted to. Actually, thankfully, Kaitlyn, we were supposed to record this yesterday. I'm glad that we're doing
Yeah.
it today because I
Yeah.
probably would not have been in the mental state to
I
to do the
don't blame you.
pod.
That would have been a lot to process and
It
deal
would
with.
have been.
Yeah.
It would have
Well,
been. So
yeah.
tomorrow we will remove the valve cover. We have an idea of as to what it could be. Um, could be one of two things, and I think one of them has been mostly ruled out. But again, we diagnosed. Um, we're thinking that it's probably not the rod bearings, so that's good.
Hmm.
The what we're thinking is, and shout out to my friend, my good friend Andrew, who's one of my best friends. He's one of the groomsmen at my wedding, and I'm going to be one of the groomsmen at his. Um, we're thinking it's a timing chain. So what we're hoping for is that if it is indeed the timing chain, that it came off and it can be replaced. What we are not hoping for is that if the timing chain broke or skipped, because if that's the case, we might be cooked. So
Ugh.
that's what we're hoping for. I have right. We'll put it out
Fingers
there.
crossed
I
for the best possible outcome
fingers
tomorrow.
crossed. There have been people who told me who think that maybe it's just a simple misfire. I would love for that to be the case, but I'm also not like that. I'm optimistic. I'm not that optimistic. I'm not that dumb. Like
So
I think
realist.
we're. I'm a realist. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that it's. I would love for it to just be a simple misfire,
Yeah.
but I think that we're a little bit past that. But friend of the podcast, shout out to my good friend Kayla Rundle. Um, her and Sam were very kind in their words, but they're a little bit more real than I am. And so I'm hoping that it's not as bad as they might think that it is, but we find out very
You'll have to
soon.
tell us what happened so that
Yeah, there
we're
will be updates. There will be updates. So hopefully it's a relatively easy fix. And if it's not, well, then, we weigh our options. That could mean, have to trade in the car as is and then get no money for it, basically, or very little, which stinks because, once again, full transparency, I owe very little on this car, but I still owe on it.
Mhm.
And if I trade it in, I already know what the value could be as if I were to trade it in if it were working. It not working, that value goes like I hate rolling over negative equity. And additionally, interest rates are still high. You
Yeah.
know, the average cost of a brand new car, I don't know if you know this, Caitlin, is over 50 G's. Like the average
Yeah.
car payment is like 700. I'm nowhere near that on my car. So like
Mhm.
full transparency, both of my car payments combined are a tick over the average of what of the normal one car payment is in 2026. So just that tells you I pay really nicely on my two cars, and I would
Yeah.
not like to be above a threshold that I'm just like,
Yeah, well, you were smart with your financial decisions. So, and
yeah,
nowadays it's a little tough. I've seen the prices of different new cars. It is pretty insane. I used to want a
yeah,
Tahoe as a mom car one day, and that's when that was like Tahoes were nice, but they were
yeah.
like top of the line luxury. And now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, a Tahoe even is almost six figures. And that's now I'm like, I thought that
Isn't
was
that
a normal.
insane? It's
Yeah, it's
insane.
absurd. So,
I've looked. I think a brand new Z71 fully loaded Tahoe. Like we're not even talking Escalade. We're not even
no,
talking Yukon Denali. Like a Tahoe
right.
Z71 is
Yeah.
like deep into the 80s, and you're just like, what happened here? And then you look at Yukon Denali's, and they're like deep into the 90s. And then
Yeah.
Escalade's not even an Escalade V. A regular Escalade is over 100 G's.
I would love this.
Escalade V's are like 160, and you're just like,
Yeah. I
what are
see
we
so
doing?
many V's around here. There's a lot of V's in
Uh
Texas,
huh.
especially in Houston. Oh my goodness. And now I see the non-V's and I'm like, oh, it's not a V. And then I'm like, whoa, what am I doing? It's still an Escalade. But I'm so used to seeing the V's now. I'm like, those are the
Yeah.
big ballers and they're everywhere
Uh
now.
huh.
But I would still take a blacked out Tahoe. That's what I'd love one day. But even then, like you just said, for a really nice top of the line, even just Tahoe, Chevrolet, you're paying big bucks. So I
Big bucks, like
can't stand that.
golly. Let me ask you a question because, like, the last few times that I've had you on the pod, you always talk about an RS6 as the best mom car on the
Mm,
planet. Are you meaning to
mm.
tell me that you would actually take a blacked out Tahoe on 24s over an RS6?
No, but that's slightly more realistic than an RS6.
uh,
And
uh,
maintenance costs, I love the RS6. I
mm,
absolutely love those, especially if you get a paint match roof box just for the heck of it. Not that you really, I wouldn't even use it. I don't ski or anything, but I'd put that thing on there and lower it just to look clean.
yeah. Let me tell you
RS6
that
still for and above that.
RS6s RS6s go hard.
Yeah.
I remember pretty vividly. Um, for people who don't who may not know how this catalog works and whatnot, but I consider Kaitlyn a relatively frequent guest on our podcast, and you were so kind to go ahead and join me and Alex on episode 149 on the lead up to 150, and that was amazing because you hadn't been on the show for such a long time, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
know how
remember
much
that.
that meant to me. You know how much that meant to me, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that you and I have had a one-on-one pod in a
True.
really long time.
Very true. It's probably been multiple years.
It's
So,
been I think it's been over 3,
are you
which is
serious?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
I think it was
Okay.
was
Long
it I think
overdue.
it was long overdue. I think it was like 2023 the last time we did it. If I'm not
Oh
mistaken,
my
memory
gosh.
serves me right. We recorded at your pop's garage, which
Oh
is
yeah. No, I
that was a
remember
good
that. That
time.
was
That was a
sick.
good
That
time.
was cool.
That was a good time. Shout out to big man Clink. All the respect
Yeah.
in the
Shout
world
out
to him.
Kurt.
Shout out Big Kurt. That was. Do you remember that? First of all, I had to drive home in an enormous monsoon afterwards.
Really? Oh, I don't remember that. That sounds
Yeah, it
terrifying.
was it was terrible. It actually was because like the water in Scottsdale was way higher than I expected it to be, and I was like, this is gonna be a rough ride home, ladies and gents. Um,
Yeah.
but Jorge in his ever loving wisdom and whatnot sometimes looks at his phone when he's driving when he shouldn't be. Slap on
Mm.
the wrist to Papa
Been
Tarmac.
there. Been there.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. But that night, I got a cool thing happened. Johnny Lieberman started following me out of the blue, and that was because of you.
Oh yeah. I do
That
remember that.
yeah. And when that happened, I remember picking up my phone and I was like, I called you and I was like, what did you do?
Yeah, I remember telling him I was doing that podcast, and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember the exact conversation, but Johnny's a legend. That's cool. I was
Johnny
glad to
is
make
very
that
much a
connection.
legend. Yeah. By
That's
the way, I
cool.
didn't do this on purpose, but as of recording, and I hope I got to check with him to see if it works. But I believe he's actually slated to go ahead and make his yearly return next week. Actually, funny
Oh,
enough.
nice.
So
That's
doing
awesome.
having KRC and Johnny back to back is always a cool thing.
Cool.
That's so I will make big shout out to Johnny Lieberman, friend of the podcast and all that good stuff. We have a lot to catch up on and everything, but so I just want to make sure that I gave the update on the Sorrento, of course, and hopefully it'll work itself out. But so we went ahead and started this podcast with dropping a little little knowledge on the folks
They
about
just don't know. They
they
don't
just
know.
don't know
They need to
about
know.
that Mac G Charlie's Angels stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Golly. So, we've been friends, you and I, for about 4.5 years. And you know what? Shout out to little kid Clink. Shout out to your sister, of course. Shout out to M2 mommy herself.
That's
The three of
Jacqueline.
us, shout out to Jacqueline, who owns one of my favorite cars of all time.
Oh
And
yeah.
we are huge Charlie's Angels fans, in particular the Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu movies,
Yes.
of
Early
course,
2000s, the
early two
goaded one,
thousands.
the
Oh my
best.
god! So I just rewatched all the two of them,
Hmm.
uh, like just last week, which is hence the reason why we dropped the line. I went ahead and I messaged Kaitlyn. I was like, "Hey, Kaitlyn, I hear Angels can't fly this high," and I was wondering as to whether or not Kaitlyn would get the reference. She messaged me back like an hour later. She's like, "Did you just reference Charlie's Angels, Jorge?"
My childhood are those movies. I mean, me and my sister would watch them almost every weekend.
They're
Like we
so
would
iconic.
watch one and then the other, and then the next
Mhm.
month one, and then the other. I have them basically memorized. They're just feel good movies. I watch them and I'm in a good mood. If I had a bad day, I watch it, I'm in a good mood. There's no way
Yeah,
around it.
they're great. So,
Iconic.
which movie do you prefer of the two?
I don't have a
Because
preference, but
they're both
Full
so
Throttle
good.
is more fun. I don't know.
Full Throttle
They're
is a
both,
banger. Full Throttle is
yeah,
a banger. Yeah,
yeah. They're
you
both
know,
equally just as good. I
They
watch them
are.
back to back. You don't watch them one at a time. I just watch them both at the same
Oh,
time
I did
because I
too.
can't pick
I
a
I
favorite.
ended
Yeah,
Charlie's Angels
you
and then
too.
immediately was like the next day I was like, I think I was washing dishes. I was like, I guess I'm watching Full Throttle because they were both
Yeah,
on Amazon for free. And I was like, yes.
there you
Um,
go.
People, let me tell you something. I don't think people understand the car cred that is in both of those movies
Oh my
because it's
gosh, yeah,
so legit, dude.
it
Like
is.
heavy
Mhm.
car credentials. Like you look at the first one, um, Natalie Cameron Diaz's character, she's driving in a 360. I can't remember if it's a 360 coupe or a 360, but I'm pretty sure it's a 360 coupe.
I think it
Uh,
is.
right? And then Lucy Liu's character, Alex, she is in an SL Gullwing, a 300 SL
Hmm.
Gullwing. And
Yep.
then Dylan, Drew Barrymore, she's rolling in an either a 68 or a 69 Camaro convertible.
Every car is absolutely tough. They're all insane, and it gets
All
even
insane.
crazier from there.
It does. And then the scene when they get out of the big old fort when they're chasing Eric Noctis' character, Sam
Yeah.
Rockwell,
Uh-huh.
Bosley picks him up in like a vintage Bronco. It's
Yeah.
just like, yo, this
There's
like
an
it's
Enzo. You can't forget about the
oh, that's in
Enzo
Full
thing, the
Throttle. Yeah.
beach scene.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So
when
that's
she
in Full
drives off
Throttle.
from the beach, like
Dude,
it's in.
I'm pretty sure that Full Throttle was the first ever time that we saw an Enzo on a major motion picture because it came out same year.
Yeah, I don't think I had ever seen. I don't really see them in any movies altogether, but yeah, that's
Right.
probably pretty accurate.
I think it was the first time. And so like
Yeah.
when she pulls away and she's in the red Enzo, I'm like, oh, sweet God. Like my
Yeah.
13-year-old me was like geeking. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
that's an Enzo. That's insane.
Yeah.
Um, and then also Shelby Cobra 427 at the end of the movie,
I was about to say you
right?
can't miss the Cobra. You can't miss
Can't
that.
miss the Cobra.
It's
And
so casual
then
though. They drive them all like it's like no big deal. They just have
it's like
that's their day
totally
to
no.
day or
Well,
whatever.
that's the thing. All three of them are rich as hell, right? Because like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Living the
I think
dream.
they're living the dream. I'm pretty sure Dylan moves from a Camaro in the first one to in Full Throttle. Pretty sure she's driving a Chevelle.
Yeah, she's the muscle car girl. I don't
She's a
actually
muscle
remember. I
car
have to
girl.
see a picture again on which
Yeah,
one, but oh yeah, they're always hitting something incredible. So
there. It's so good. Again, the car cred is just absolutely ridiculous.
oh yeah,
And I think you're right on Full Throttle being a tad bit more because the first one is like aces, dude. It's so
yeah,
good, but
yeah.
Full Throttle, especially with like, because we don't have Bill Murray in the second one, we get Bernie Mac
Mm-hmm.
instead, which
Mm-hmm.
you're a big Transformers gal, right? You love
Yeah.
the OG, just as do I. I love the OG
Yeah.
trilogy. Shout out to Michael Bay and making some iconic films, which
Oh
somehow,
yeah.
some way, Transformers is turning 20 years old next year, and the CGI still holds up like unbelievably. But what makes me laugh is this isn't, Transformers wasn't the first time that we saw Bernie Mac and Shia LaBeouf on screen together. Obviously, we see them in Full Throttle.
True. Oh yeah, that's very true. I mean, Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf was literally a
Yeah.
kid.
This
He's
is
young in that movie,
yeah,
but
this is like even Stevens Shia LaBeouf, like I think this is like 2 years
not
before
about that.
Holes, bro.
Oh, holes. Don't even get me started on holes, or this podcast is going to be all movies instead of cars.
I mean, it might as well be. And I knew that I was going to bring up Charlie's Angels to you, so I figured we just kind of
Yeah.
go all over the place and stuff like that. But yeah, again, like there's just like an iconicness like there was something about the early 2000s nostalgia, and obviously you
Yeah.
kind of, well, because you were born in it. I grew up in it and whatnot, and there's just something about it that I don't know. I look back to those days and I'm like, yeah, the style was just, there was something about it. You know what I mean?
It was legendary. I was not very aware of any of those years. I was a toddler, but all the stuff I watched, all the trends I saw, all
Mm-hmm.
the music I heard was all from that generation when I'm a little kid and I'd listen to
Yeah.
everything from the early 2000s. And then even in my teenage years, it was all sorts of stuff from the early 2000s. And I've been watching the Charlie's Angels movie since whatever year my parents decided we were allowed to watch that, which I was probably 10 or so. So,
But
I
to
mean,
be quite honest, you probably shouldn't be watching it 10.
you know what? All those jokes went right over my head, so it's no big
Right
deal. I
over
just
our head.
love the music, love the action. It was so
Mm-hmm.
cheesy. 10-year-old me was just having a fun time. So,
That's
but
totally
definitely
fair.
iconic movies with some pretty spectacular cars in it, even though
I
they
have a
make it.
very I have a
Okay.
very serious question to ask you.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Okay. Both movies, amazing. Soundtracks go crazy on
That
both
too.
movies.
Yep.
So, what's the better song? Smack My Bitch Up, Simon Says, or Firestarter?
Mm,
Mm.
that's a tough one. Where I mean,
I'm a
we're switching
journalist. I'm a
genres right now.
journalist. I ask the hard questions around here.
I'd say it's a tie between Smack My Bitch Up and Simon Says. I
I
can't
think
pick the
I
two. I
think
mean,
you're right. I think you're right because like again, hence the reason why we referenced, of course, the line earlier at the beginning of the podcast when you and I were
yeah,
talking about how iconic Simon Says with
it is.
the Red Star satellites, updating
Yeah,
accurate.
oh my gosh.
Oh God.
I might have to go watch that.
I'm gonna rewatch the scene after we're done with the podcast. I have never listen, there are a lot of cool things that have happened in movies. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something right now, Kaitlyn Clink. There are not a lot of better cool things in movies than seeing Sam Rockwell smoke a cigarette and taking a sip out of a Coca-Cola can with through a straw
Yeah.
while doing an
What
iconic dance. It is
whatever that weird ad dance was.
I
I know
love that
exactly what you're
dance.
talking about. Yep.
Ah, so good.
And
I love I love that. I love these movies. Did you ever
yeah.
watch the 2019 reboot?
Nope, skipped it. I said that's not for me. I didn't even want to be disappointed. They might have been good, but I didn't even bother. I just did. I couldn't get myself. It felt
I watched
like
it.
what was
I
your
took the
honest opinion?
time.
Did
It
you like
wasn't as
it?
bad. It wasn't as bad as people made it seem to be.
The reviews were pretty terrible. So
They
I look
were,
at
and
Rotten
I
Tomatoes
think
and
they were
I'm
hard on them.
like,
Yeah.
really?
Mhm.
Well, that was a lot to you can't follow the early 2000s and think you're gonna outshine or even match because you really can't.
Right.
What matching the Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore. There's no following up
Their
on that.
their chemistry was so ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like their chemistry was just insane. Like you can't replicate that. Like, and that's what.
No.
And I think like when you make a movie, you and I we grew up. We just talked about Transformers. Obviously, the chemistry between Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf is unbelievable, right? And then the chemistry between like Tyrese and Josh Duhamel and oh my god, what's his name? John Turturro. Like the
Hmm.
chemistry between all those people in some way, shape, or form is you can't replicate that, which is probably what hurts Age of Extinction and The Last Night. Actually, The Last Night, it a lot of things hurt that film other than Mark Wahlberg having zero chemistry with anybody and stuff like that. That Last Night just straight up is straight dookie. Age of
After the first
Extinction.
three, I struggle. The
Eh,
first three are really what I mean. I can watch four and five. I after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. But nothing will beat the first three of Transformers. So I
right.
mean, you can't. I heard there was rumors of Michael Bay bringing back
I've
Shia
heard the
LaBeouf
same
and
rumors.
Megan Fox. I don't know how strong the rumors are, but I would absolutely love to see that. And if they brought back a fifth gen Camaro for it, did all of it, just who knows what they would do. But I'd see that, whether it ended up
Oh,
sucking or
I would give them half my year's salary to be a part of that. I would pay to be an extra in that film.
I'll
One
like use my
thousand
ZL
percent.
one, use it, put it in
Oh
the
my god,
movie.
yo, let them wrap it.
He can be Bumblebee's now blue. We're gonna make Bumblebee rapid blue.
I'm so in. I am
Be
so in
butterfly.
for that. Oh my god, it'd
Put a
be
Bumblebee.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like, but that's the thing. You can't replicate the level of chemistry that they have and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
to be fair to the new Charlie's Angels and whatnot, it's Kristen Stewart and it's Naomi Scott and then the other young lady, her name escapes me, and it's Elizabeth Banks who wrote and directed it. Elizabeth Banks from
Hmm.
The Hunger Games and of course Pitch
Yeah, I do
Perfect.
like her a
Yeah,
lot.
Elizabeth
Yes.
Banks she's awesome. She's Bosley in the film. So they do
Okay.
a female Bosley.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they filmed the movie after John Forsythe, who is the voice of Charlie. He had already passed away, so they used somebody else. And
Hmm.
the Charlie voice, he's good, but he's not John Forsythe, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah.
the action sequences are great. It's funny, it's spunky, it is. It's got good energy. It's just not the McG movies.
Right.
It's just not. So, but if you go in to watch them with the mindset of like, I'm not here to replicate Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu, and you're just wanting to watch your own thing, and it just happens to be that they're and by the way, they are different angels. They're not Natalie, Dylan, and Alex. They have different names. So, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the angels all make cameos, but through like archival footage, if you will. So there's that, but so it's nice that it separates itself, but it is tough to kind of replicate that thing. And to be
Mm.
quite honest, I can't remember if it had any really good car creds like the first two did.
I can't even comment because I didn't have enough faith to watch it, but I highly doubt they could beat having an Enzo drive off from the beach, having a 300 SL, having a Camaro pull up to the drive-through window, having all of the above. There's no way
Yeah,
they beat
with
that
Destiny's
anywhere.
Child bumping in the background.
Yeah, exactly. It
Uh,
was legendary. You can't
it
honestly
was.
beat it, but
What a time to be alive, dude.
yeah. Now we've educated everyone on Charlie's Angels too. They probably thought they were about to hear a bunch about cars. Nope, we were
Nope,
sharing about Charlie's Angels.
and forever
Had
will
to do
be.
it to them.
Had
Yeah.
to do it. Hashtag pineapple sex wax. Let's go.
Yeah.
What a great
Yeah.
line, bro. What a great
They need
shout
to
out to
watch them.
Pink. Pink makes a cameo in Full Throttle. Like,
Yeah, she does. Uh-huh.
yeah, it's in the dirt bike scene or whatever.
Yeah, her husband used to be a pro racer. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
I think he was in
It's
that. I don't know if he was in the movie too, but he used to race bikes professionally.
oh, that's so funny. Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question because obviously, you're slightly younger than I am and whatnot. Actually, slightly.
Mhm.
We're actually a decade apart.
That's all right.
It's okay. I learned to live and I cope. Um, did you did you ever grow up at any point like watching some of the Disney Channel original movies by any chance? I have a reason why I'm asking you this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because I think
definitely.
you and I have brought up like Right on Track, which is the Enders sisters, who did like drag racing, like funny cars and whatever. I know you and I have had that conversation in the past, but speaking of dirt bikes, did you ever watch the movie Motocrossed?
No, I did
You
not.
you did not.
No, I've never seen that. I bet Pierce has. My boyfriend, I mean,
Yeah,
I told you that he raced, or you've seen maybe that he used to race semi-professionally doing
I
motocross.
didn't know that, but I know he's a huge bike guy like you are, obviously.
Yeah, he used to be all on dirt bikes, and now he's on street bikes, but he used to
Right.
do that like he'd race semi-professionally till I think he was 21. So he's probably seen that movie and every other dirt bike related movie.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have not seen that. Is that an old one?
So it's an old one. I think it came out, not to date myself, but it came out like in '01. So you would have been like one or two. Two. You would have been two, when it
Yeah.
came, or almost two when it came out. And so, but it's kind of legit because like this is the motorbike riders that they use for the movie, dude, to make cameos. Like this is like OG young Travis Pastrana that makes a cameo. And
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And like a variety of the dudes who were like racing real heavy, like in the
Hmm.
X Games boom of the early 2000s and stuff like that.
Wow.
And but it's all based around a Disney Channel original movie, which
Cool.
can at times be relatively cringy.
Yeah,
But I
Disney gets
still
really wholesome like that, but still fun to watch.
it still is. I rewatch it every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, this movie still
Yeah.
rules, bro. Like
Hmm.
I grew up during the Johnny Tsunami days. I grew like Brink is like probably my all-time favorite Disney Channel original movie.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know
I've
if you
seen.
ever that one's like the one where the rollerbladers.
Yeah, no, you lost me. I have not seen
Ah,
it.
okay. I get it. I think your Disney Channel original movie phase is a little bit like further up. You probably watched like
Yeah.
Wizard of Waverly Place the movie and shit like that when you were growing up.
Yep, that's
Is that
exactly
what it
right.
was?
Yep.
And I
Uh-huh.
figured. I figured. Well, if you have Disney Plus and you go back into the archives, highly suggest Motocrossed and Brink because that's like pure X Games
Okay.
type energy
All right.
nostalgia. That's again schooling all those youngins out there. You know, the mayor of Fuego City and Papa Tarmac going ahead and dropping the knowledge that you all so desperately need. Um, yeah. Okay. So hold on. Let's talk you for 1 second because obviously we went deep into Charlie's Angels and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Let's play a little catch up with KRC for 1 second.
Yeah.
Last time you were on, you had, the last two times that you've been on, we had a chance to go ahead and really talk about your fun adventures that, you finally bought your dream car a few years back, obviously,
Mhm.
under
Yeah.
unfortunate circumstances, but then you made the reality happen, of course, when you got the ZL1, which, we were all giddy, we were all excited. I was
Love that
hyped. I was
thing.
like, this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when our friends win, we all win. And you're the perfect example of that. And so, you had the ZL1, you had it like almost 2 years, right?
Yeah, it was about 2 years, I'd say, a little under 2 years.
A little under 2 years. And so you
Yeah.
caught me off guard because, as per usual, you're super duper sneaky, with the exception of when you bought the CL1, because I had a feeling that you were going to pull it off. And then
Yeah.
you went ahead and started dropping stories. And I was like, oh,
It's happening. Yep.
dang. This time you were real quiet about this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw me the heck off because I was like, so basically, why don't you go ahead and tell the people who may have not been following your story over the last few months and stuff like that? Why don't you drop it? Because I always take your thunder. I don't want to do that to my homie.
No, no, you're good. There's no thunder to be taken, but I did it quietly because I honestly wasn't sure if everyone would understand the difference and how big of a deal it was to me to go from the ZL1 selling that, and then I got a ZL1 1LE, which was the top of the line dream car, top spec, all the options, everything I wanted in the exact color I wanted. That is what I wanted even when I had the SS. I wanted a blue ZL1 1LE. I get the blue ZL1, love the car to death, super grateful. Still just like, what if I got a 1LE? And then it was Pierce that was kind of convincing me, and he's like, well, if you want it, you could build some credit and do a trade-in, and it's not going to be much of a difference, but if you really want it. And we started searching, and I found this one, dealt with my pain in the ass salesman who made the process not so fun, which is also kind of why I kept it quiet, because there wasn't much excitement. It was more of a pain until the car was finally in my hands and I could just breathe. And I was like, okay, I now have the ZL1 1LE, and it's everything I ever wanted.
Amazing, dude. When you did it, I remember messaging you and I was like, yo, whose 1LE is that? Like, right? Because I was like, because I
Yeah.
knew, because I was like,
Well, yeah, who would
that's
imagine I just switch up and get basically the same car, just add the track package? But that's the type of something I would do. So why not?
right. But like, I was like, oh, I was like, because I was like, I didn't know you were gonna do it. So I was like, so I automatically assumed, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because again, I need people to understand, you went from a rapid blue to a rapid blue. So I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, you must have just found somebody else who's got a rapid blue 1LE and just being like,
Yeah.
hey, that's cool. I'm gonna drive this car. And I was like, that's really dope. And you were like, oh no, dude, I I bought it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I had to pause in my tracks and I was like, yo,
Yeah.
you traded in the ZL1 for a 1LE UG. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And the funny thing is, it happened after we recorded the podcast, which I was like, God damn it.
I know. Then it was
It's
just the
okay.
time. Yeah.
You and Alex have the exact same timing of doing the thing after you record a show with me. And so then we have to
Really?
wait. Yeah, because like um yeah, we talked about it last time, but when Alex bought when Alex bought the Aston,
Yeah.
she dropped we recorded the episode, and then week of that it was supposed to drop, she bought the Aston. And I was
Mm.
like, and then there's this like 45-minute dialogue about her talking about the dream car, which I already knew she was looking for. And I knew the car, but she wasn't putting it out there yet.
Yeah.
And so as the episode drops, she buys the car. And I was like, bro, this is great. I'm excited. This is such bad timing. Like,
Yeah. Good. Just waited on the pod or bought the car sooner,
yeah,
something.
come on, man. No, I'm just kidding. I was so hyped. I was so hyped.
Yeah.
So there,
Oh, it's a beautiful
no,
car.
it's
She just
amazing.
built it
It's
perfectly.
she has done an amazing job with that car.
Yeah.
Perfectly lowered. The wheels are the tits. The exhaust sounds incredible. The
Yeah.
yellow is perfect for her. Perfect for
Oh,
her.
yeah. I always say every time I see a yellow car, I was like, that's automotive Alex spec. So
Yeah,
completely.
I literally I'll see a yellow Lamborghini, I throw it up. I'm like, automotive Alex spec, and I tag her in it, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's perfection. But when you bought this car, I was like, oh my God, she did the thing, like, and you have spec'd it quite nicely yourself too. You put new wheels on it, obviously, because right, you took off
Yeah. Thank you.
the
Yeah.
five spokes.
I put on a set of Apexes, the ML10 RTs, which kind of have a BBS style to them.
I
I'd
noticed,
say
yeah.
so. with the red center caps too. Other than that, all I've done is basically protect the car and then give it some sound because I did secondary cat delete and then add stainless works mufflers, and then the rest of it was just ceramic coat, PPF, and leave it be. I'm like, this thing's already got the carbon wing OEM, it's already got the satin hood, the canards, everything else I need. I just added the wheels and made it louder, and I
Yeah.
haven't really touched it since.
No, I mean I can't believe you made that thing louder when you
Oh, you
absolutely
needed
did
it.
not. But do you think so?
What do you mean? Yeah. Oh, what to have it to really have it resonate and have some more sound and some more pops. It's stock. They're not. I mean,
Are they
it has a
relatively
valved
muffled?
exhaust.
Okay.
So even with the exhaust open, it's still not as loud. There's a lot you can unlock. I mean,
Mm.
obviously I could do heads and cam, but I'm not spending that money and I'm not doing that. So it could be even 10 times louder. But for what I have now with the cat delete and the stainless works, it's perfect. It's exactly the type of loud that I wanted. It's not over the top to where my neighbors will hate my guts, but it's got a roar to it. And it's not,
Oh, it
otherwise all
definitely
you hear
does.
is supercharger whine. All you hear is the whine because it like covers up the sound of the exhaust. So
Ah,
that's how it was in the ZL1 before I had modded it. All I heard was "Ooh," all day long. I'm like, that's cool and all until you want to hear some rumble. So
sure.
I'm very happy with how the car is now.
Oh,
So
I love the way that you have it sorted and whatnot. I
thank
had to
you.
mess with you because like I was like, there's no way that you made this car any louder than it needed to be, but I didn't realize that it was so muffled
It
from
is
stock.
to an
Okay,
extent. I mean, yeah, it definitely needs something, but I didn't want to go
sure.
crazy with it, and it's
Yeah.
still, completely drivable in terms of if I wanted to daily it, I could. Although I don't. I got it with 600 something miles on it, so it was very,
Yeah, it
very,
was
very.
really new. Really new. Last year the Camaro ZL1 1LE is 24, right?
Yes, and this is
Okay,
a
cool.
23. I literally just switched from a 23 ZL1 to a 23 ZL1 1LE, but I also went down 14,000 miles. So it was like I traded that one in and they gave me an insane trade as they are trying to sell it for a ridiculous price. And then this one only had 690 miles but now I'm about to hit 4,000. So I'm
Oh
like, how long have I
wow.
had it? Since last July?
You bought it
July,
in
August,
July, right? Okay, cool. So we're in March now.
9 months, about 9 months, and I've added, yeah, over 3,000 miles to it.
That's
So
pretty good. See, and again, because you've got that, and then you daily drive the Silverado, of course, and then you've got the
yeah,
bike. So
yeah.
you obviously are clearly very easily balancing the mileage. I hope that you've been putting some mileage on the truck, right? Like
Oh
poor,
yeah, I have.
okay,
I have.
poor Tahoe. I was gonna say poor
Definitely some.
Silverado
The
if it
bike
didn't have
gets
any
the
more.
most of it.
Yeah,
The bike gets the most. I'm at 9,000 miles on the bike in a year. So
yeah,
that's,
that's a
and then
lot,
probably
dude.
added like 8,000 miles on the truck. And then obviously
Ooh,
most are were fun miles, but I do drive it sometimes to shoots and stuff. But
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let me do the math. So 9 plus 8 on the Silverado. So that's nearest makes no difference, 17. And you add in another 14, or excuse me, it's 4 from the ZL1. So we're looking at like, yeah, 21,000 miles in a year. Yeah, that's healthy. That's a healthy amount of miles to be driving overall, dude, for sure.
It's
Or
about
driving
average.
slash riding. Yeah.
That's fun miles and work miles. Cause obviously I work from home, but all those client trips I have to do, I'm running all over Houston. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
a,
again, so you and I, we're both very familiar with the Phoenix metropolitan area. Obviously, you grew up here and whatnot. It's
yeah.
going to be, if you can, actually, you know what? Kudos to me. Next week, it will have been 8 years since I made the move from Tucson to Phoenix. So I've been
That's
in the
awesome.
Phoenix area now going on 8 years, which is amazing. I was just in Tucson yesterday, and every time I go down to Tucson, it makes me kind of re-miss it all over again. But there's a reason why I moved up to Phoenix. And so I love them both equally. If I could move back down to Tucson, I'd do it. But I love the car community so much here in Phoenix that I would actually find it hard to leave. So I
Yeah, there's you're
part of the
plugged
reason
in.
why I stay up here is because of people like you and because of even though you're not here, but you get what I'm saying. Everybody
Yeah, the
that listens,
community. Yeah, there's a
community,
great community
there
for
is,
sure.
and I love it. And
Yeah.
being 2.5 hours away from it, in particular from Scottsdale, would stink, and I wouldn't do that to myself. But uh, what I was trying to go ahead and get at was Phoenix is enormous. It's very spread out, right? Like from Buckeye all the way to Apache Junction and Gold Canyon, we're talking like 70 miles in width. That's really a far spread. Houston is just bigger than that, which is crazy. You know, like
Yeah,
I don't
it
know how
is.
you do it, dog.
It's hard to manage. On the bike, it's a little easier with getting around, but you just adjust. You just get used to it, which I have for the most part. A lot of traffic. A lot of my clients some of them are an hour away. In Scottsdale, it's like if I had a shoot, when I visit and it's over 30 minutes, like my perception changes. I'm like, 30 minutes? That's kind of a lot. I come here, I'm like, oh,
30
they're
minutes in
45
Scottsdale is like nothing.
standard.
Or it's a lot in Scottsdale. Like if you said if it was
Yeah.
30 minutes from Scottsdale to like Phoenix, makes sense. Scottsdale to
Yeah.
Tempe makes sense. Within Scottsdale, that's a lot. 30
Yeah.
minutes to anywhere in Houston Metro, you're like, oh, that's nothing. I'll be right there.
Yeah. It's like, thank goodness. How short. Yeah, for sure.
I completely agree. What have you noticed now that we are in, what did we say, 7 months of ownership at this point? 8 months?
Close to 9.
Close to 9. Okay. What's been to you, other than, you obviously modded the wheels and things of that nature, but from like the ownership perspective of the 1LE compared to a regular ZL1, what's been the biggest difference to you, other than it being more aggressive and whatnot? But like from a driving perspective, what was something that you felt you really needed to get used to that was kind of more manageable in the regular ZL1?
It just feels more like a track car. It really is only the aggression. It's a rougher ride, and I enjoy it because I feel like it handles really well. Having the mag ride was nice, but I want to enjoy it. I want to feel like I'm in a fast car. I want to feel like I'm in a car that's really planted, which the ZL1 without the 1LE package is relatively planted, but having such a stiff suspension, I don't know. A lot of people complain about it. I personally find it pretty fun. I'm like, I know this thing is stuck to the ground.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm in that car. Otherwise, it wasn't much of a switch. I just am really happy with the aesthetic look of it, the fact that it does have the stiffer suspension. I do eventually want to track it at some point. Having the more aggressive front end with the bumper and the canards and having an OEM wing instead of having, not that I had any problem with my aftermarket wing, but just
Mhm.
having all the stuff that I
It was
really
built
wanted
together. It was
on.
built in harmony. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's just saying, okay, I just finally did it. I pulled the trigger and I don't think Azeel one is skimping out by any means, but rather than getting the 1LE when I didn't want to make that make sense financially in that market, I'm like, okay, 2 years later, the market for 1LEs right before it skyrocketed was relatively okay.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise it wasn't a huge adjustment just because I did go straight from a ZL1, but it is more aggressive. I love how just you take corners, it's like it's a breeze in that car. It just holds it and it goes exactly where you need to with that really stiff track suspension.
Right. Remind me, is it a squared stance on all four? It is, right? Or is it
Oh
just a
no, it's
smidge on the? Is it,
a
or are the front
smidge.
tires a
It's
little?
staggered just a smidge. Yeah, it's
Okay.
305 in the front, 325 in the rear.
Yo, that's crazy. I thought you were gonna say 295s in the front, which is already like
Oh,
really big.
305 and 325.
Yeah.
It's beefy, a beefy
That's
setup.
that's like that's like freaking that's Viper. That's Viper levels of aggression when it comes, right, dude? Like
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it looks so
that.
cool.
What on the ZL1? It wasn't 305s in the front, right? Was that what was on the front, like 295s or 285s or what?
It was 285 and 305, but I still,
Okay.
when I got my Apex wheels, I made it 1LE fitment. So I still was running 305 and 325
Oh,
with the
okay. So
last.
that was nice. That's a really nice transition to do the same thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
all I did was add a stiffer suspension. That was really all I changed, minus some aero.
I
So
got you.
having a wing and everything.
Um, yeah, I remember when we first ever discussed the idea of you wanting to get a 1LE. If you go all the way back to like Nights of the Photography Roundtable Part Two, you were obviously with us. The whole crew. It was me, you, Cody, Automotive Alex. Shout out to AJ, of course, AJ Shapatovsky. Um, uh, Brandon from Car Scenes. He was on with us that day too. Always a fun time.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember I was like, we talked about like whether or not you'd get a 10 speed or if you got a 6 speed. Obviously, you went again with the 10 speed because
Yes.
the last couple of years of the 1LE, Chevy made it available with the 10 speed, which I thought was a great idea.
Hmm.
Um, you really like that 10 speed. And I think a lot of people have come to the understanding that the 10 speed is programmed really well in the Camaro ZL1 and in the 1LE. Was there ever a moment that you thought to yourself, ooh, it'd be kind of nice to go with a 6 speed, or do you prefer having gone with the 10 speed?
I honestly don't know. I haven't had enough chances to drive. I've only driven my dad's 6 speed. He has a collector's edition ZL1, and I
That's
drove his
right.
briefly. It was awesome. I think I barely drove when Pierce had his ZL1 1LE, and the rev match is pretty incredible for that
Mm,
manual. But I'm like, I can drive a manual, but I'm not an expert, really fast shifter. I can drive a manual completely fine, but I'm not going to say that I'm, enough that I'd want to have that if I were to ever daily it or have to take it far. I don't
Yeah.
want to sit in traffic and have to feather a clutch. I have to do that enough on my bike and it gets annoying. So I really didn't want to add that in the car. I'm like, I like the 10 speed. I enjoy the sounds of it downshifting even with the paddles. So I knew how it was as an experience in the ZL1. So even switching to the 1LE, that's
Mhm.
also just what I had found. There was only like 4 available in the country when I was looking that were not way overpriced.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I enjoyed the 10 speed and a manual would be fun, but it's not like I need that. And it's not like that's, my expertise. So I was completely fine getting a 10 speed.
I think that's perfectly fine
Love
as
it.
well. I think again,
Yeah.
and the 10 speed is programmed so really well. Like, because was your SS the 10 speed or did you have the 8 speed in your SS? You had the 10 speed, right?
It's 10 all the way across the board from the
That's what
SS.
I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I think the 16 through the either the 19 or the two, because your SS was a 21, right?
Hmm.
Right. Okay. So I think it was well, okay. When they did the facelift, I think they gave it the 10 speed because prior to that, it was the 8 speed and whatnot. That's what it was. And so, yeah, it's such a good trans, dude. Did you know that the 10 speed auto is the same trend speed auto that comes in the S550s and in the S650 Mustangs now?
I did not.
Yeah, they're the same automatic transmission, but Chevy programs obviously theirs, and Ford
Yeah.
programs the one for the Mustang and whatnot. My understanding has always been that Chevy did the better programming than Ford. That's not a shot at Ford, I promise. I'm just, I'm just repeating what I have read and heard. That's all I said. Anybody who's got a Ford Mustang with a 10 speed, don't come at me, please. I'm so happy that you finally like ZL1 was like a milestone.
Yeah.
That was so cool. But
I was
when you
super
got
excited,
it
grateful.
was of course, you know what I mean? And like coming off yeah, those sons of bitches that fucking stole the SS. Like to
I know.
come off, right? Sorry. But like to come off of that and then you get the ZL1, like I'm like, it's like, dude, that's huge. It's amazing. It brings us all joy. But to like see you then you got the 1LE dog. Like, where do you go from here? Well, we know where you go from here. Like, you're getting a McLaren Senna. That's where we go.
Oh man, I don't even know. I haven't really thought much about. I want to see 7ZR1, but that's so out of budget. So I don't even know where I'd go from here.
I was gonna say that. I mean, that would be insane. I've seen um the C7ZR1 market is really interesting right now, dude.
Yeah.
Um, you can you can buy a good ZR1 at like a nice price, with some miles, and if you just get the 8 speed auto, like if you get the 7 speed manual, like with miles, you're still paying a nice premium. When you get lower miles, boy, howdy, are you paying up the wazoo? Like
Yep.
I was,
It's
dude,
insane.
I've seen moves of the C7ZR1 with like under 5,000 miles, and we're looking like in the 300s, where I'm just like, pause, bro, pause. That is way too much money, but I get it. It's a collector's item at that point. But
Yeah.
like 8 speed autos, they're starting to come down a little bit. Now, I'd be really curious to see how with the new C8 ZR1 coming out, where we're gonna see those numbers start to come down a little bit. It'll be really, really interesting because they're both such different cars. I wonder if the market will affect the C7 at all.
I don't know because I've seen them fluctuate from anywhere that's over $200,000 on the C7s and then
Yeah,
somewhere as low as 140. And I would still
same.
take a C7 ZR1 over a C8 ZR1 based on just looks alone right now. And I haven't read enough on the C8 ZR1 and I haven't had the chance to shoot one just yet, although I will soon. But I don't know. I have not gotten on the C8 fan bus as much as I have the C7. So
That's totally fair. I mean, the C7 ZR1 to me is such an iconically aggressive car and everything like that. And it's just it's really really super dope. So you wanting to go ahead and go to that makes perfect sense in the world and whatnot. But
I would do it with
I
or I'd do a Z06 and add a ZR1 wing, but I can't do that. That just feels like
you know
blasphemy.
what we
So
could always we, you know you we if I'm not mistaken, we know somebody that's got a Z06. Maybe we can go ahead and convince that individual who we know pretty well. Hey, you know what? Why
I
don't you
already
run
tried at the
away?
last Barrett Jackson and he was not feeling it.
Not
So
about it.
nope,
Okay,
got
Big
something else.
Kurt. It's all good, man. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um, we want to go ahead and end it at a good, decent time, of course, this evening. So I always appreciate your time and whatnot. Before we go ahead and wrap it on up, how you mentioned the bike really quickly and everything like that. Obviously you're
Yeah.
riding it so much, you're putting so many miles on it.
Yeah.
How's bike life, treating you and whatnot? I saw you were riding here also in Scottsdale when you were out
Yeah.
last year and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, so I gotta ask, like, what's the difference between riding in Scottsdale and riding in Houston?
Very different scenes, very
Y-
different. Oh my goodness. I mean, riding in the forest here or the busy city and then riding in the desert are two completely different things, but I love them both equally, which is kind of why I got a bike out there too, just so that I can still enjoy riding. I ride with my dad. I've ridden with both my parents, and then I just have my own mode of transportation when I'm out there, which is pretty often. But it's two totally different animals riding in
Mm.
Scottsdale versus Houston. That's for damn sure.
No, I can imagine.
Day.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah, like does your mom ride too, or does she usually
Yeah.
just ride with your
Both
pops?
my
Yeah, does she?
parents have Harleys. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo,
Yeah. It's
Mrs.
awesome.
Clink, you rule, dude.
She's sweet too. She's
She's such a
badass.
G. She's
Yeah.
she's I when I was at Barrett in October, um, I was walking around and out of the corner of my eye, I saw your pops. And I didn't think he would recognize me. So I didn't say anything. I honestly I
Okay.
should have
That's
just
so
gone ahead
funny
and
though
said
that you
what's
ran
up
into
to him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. But because like, and then I saw your mom was like right next to him, and you and your mom to me look very similar. And I was like,
We do. We really
Mrs.
do.
Clink, and everything like that. And I wanted to say what's up. So next January, if
Next
I
time
see
do
you,
it. Just introduce yourself, tell them how you know who they are and me, and they'd probably love to say hi. So, but
yeah,
that's
that's true.
pretty random.
I did meet your dad. Your dad, so your dad was very kind to me and everything. And
Yeah, he's
yeah,
awesome.
he's very cool. So, I love to see it. So here's one thing I got to go ahead and request from you before we
Yeah.
wrap it on up tonight. And I know you kind of done it and whatnot, or I got to go back through my scrolling and everything like that. But have you done a set of the ZL11LE with the bike?
Yeah, I did. I
You
I
did,
did a
right?
set.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done I think a couple. I did one recently and the bike was on the stand. I did another shoot where I was on the bike. Yeah, I've done a couple. I those are pretty fun to get them together because they do match perfectly.
They do.
So it's cool.
What's stopping you from wrapping the truck Rapid Blue then, homie?
I don't need to do that. That'd be so overkill. And it's not a Raptor or a like a nice, ZR1 truck or anything.
Yeah.
So it's just I think it'd be too showy and too bright of a color for a truck that's a base model Silverado. That's the daily and I love it. I might do wheels on it eventually and wheels that would match the Camaro, but I'm
Mhm.
not wrapping that thing. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. If you put 24s on the Silverado, I will die.
No,
I would
no,
be so,
no.
yo, I would, hey, you know what? You know whose birthday it is? Apparently today, it's apparently Paul Wall's birthday. He turned 45.
Who?
Paul Wall, from Houston rapper, Grills, Still Tipping. He
Oh.
does the last verse. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
I got you. It's all good. Anytime I see Still Tipping, I see actually anytime I see Still Tipping and it comes on, I always send it over to Kaitlyn for obvious reasons because she's the mayor of Fraggle City. But yeah, so uh, it would be amazing if you put like big old 24s on the truck. It would, I don't know. I think you should do it, but I understand if you didn't want to because it's might be
I'm
that
not
actually
doing
might be overkill and whatnot. So before we so we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it on up right here, obviously. But I'm so grateful for your time as per usual, my friend. It's always good to see you. It's always great to go ahead and have a conversation.
Yeah, thank you
And
for having me. We hadn't caught
yeah,
up in a minute. It was fun.
it's been too long. It's been too
Yeah.
long. For anybody who's interested, and Kaitlyn takes clients from all over the Houston metropolitan area, of course. So if you have any needs for your social media and or photography, please make sure that you hit up Kaitlyn. You can go ahead and find her at krc.auto, of course,
Yeah.
there on Instagram. And then if you want to go ahead and have a fun time just following Kaitlyn and her fleet, I always like it. Go ahead and check out Kaitlyn's Garage. Caitlin
Hmm.
dot Garage. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Caitlin Garage, you got it.
Caitlin, all
Yeah.
right, cool. It's always a fun time. It's always good. If you want a chalant, that's the perfect time to be chalanting.
I love it.
Still the greatest photo you've ever dropped. Is there anything else that I need to? Oh, real quick, Epoxy by Night. Big shout out to Pierce, of course. Let's go ahead and make sure to
Yes,
plug
thank
that. If you're
you.
in the Houston area and whatnot, you want your floors redone and whatnot, please go ahead and check him out. I believe it's at Epoxy by Night on Instagram
You
as
got it.
well,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? He's
He
got
does
his
stick and metallic flooring, and he does residential and commercial.
yeah, I keep seeing that stuff when you go ahead and share it. I'm just like, yeah, that boy be cooking when it comes to those floors, man. Let me tell you.
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
cooking.
Hmm.
And whatnot. Oh, before we wrap it on up, we gotta give a shout out to our new friend Amy Cat
Oh,
Vaughn.
Amy
Yeah,
Vaughn. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
love her.
yeah.
She's badass.
She is so dope. She just recently had her car painted by the icon that is, of course, Ray
Oh,
Roberts.
Ray. Oh, I can't wait to see
Um,
that car when Ray's done. That's so cool.
it's they cooked. Let me tell you, they cooked.
Oh, I
So
bet.
shout out to her. I think her clothing brand is Code M3 is what it's
It's
called, I believe.
Code Motorsports.
Code Motorsports. Thank you.
Yeah, you got
Her
it.
license plate is Code M3, and it's super
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, Code's
Um,
her brand.
so huge shout out to her. She was. I got a chance to talk to her for like 5-10 minutes, and she was like, "Do you know Kaitlyn Clink?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I do."
A small world.
The
Yeah,
small,
Amy and
small,
Ray are
small
both
world.
awesome. I don't know if I've ever gotten to meet Ray, but I follow her and I love her work. But I've met and hung out with Amy. We've ridden together a couple times when she's out here to visit James. So
Oh, nice. I mean,
yeah,
you biker kids, man, you guys just get it. You guys just get it.
small world.
It's a hard family to go ahead and separate and whatnot. Well, hopefully, when you're the next time you're in town, we'll definitely go ahead and get you linked up with Ray and stuff like that. That would be amazing. That actually, y'all could go ahead and do some crazy cool photo shoot and something like
Cool
that
idea.
with
Yeah.
her M3 and whatnot. But my friend, it's great to see you. Please stay safe out there in the good old H town and whatnot. When you're in town, please give me some time in advance. We can go ahead and at least give each other a high five at
Sounds good.
4 till 4 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, be on the lookout for everything and anything that Kaitlyn is doing, everybody. So that's Kaitlyn Clink. My name is Jorge Aquino. Remember that birds don't really fly that high, but angels can. Watch the Charlie's Angels movies. And I guess take the resonator off when you buy a ZL11LE. That's Kaitlyn Clink. This is Jorge Aquino. It's a podcast where the enthusiast never dies. It's called Tormenting Tarmac. And hopefully my Sorrento will not die.